Let's discuss. Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I'm very excited to be checking out the rest of the Like Moths to Flames EP, Pure Like Porcelain. I did 2 reaction videos for both singles, The Preservation of Hate and Views from Halfway Down. I think at the end of the day, Views ended up being my favorite single. I just really love that song, the chorus, the heaviness in it that you got in The Preservation, all of that. So I'm very stoked for this EP. I feel like it will be solid given the singles that I've heard. So I am going to do one video for the 3 tracks I have not heard yet. I asked in the Discord server, would people rather have 3 separate videos or one? This was what was voted for, so yeah, that's pretty much where we are at. I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight in. Drum sounds really good, both in general and production wise. Really Alright, we got 2 more tracks too, so we're gonna go into the next one. the guitar on this track. I wasn't sure because the ending of the last one was so much, and this one a more well, I don't think this is the order either. I think there were 2 singles between this and the first track. I'm pretty sure. Regardless, we're gonna move on. One more track that is new that we're gonna go into before we discuss the EP as a whole.
Ruin me if I become the disease. Shed this skin to ruin me. If I could take the pain that I've caused, so resuscitate the life that I lost. These intricate lies pouring about rain in my default design. This delicate balance to live by a thread, knowing I'm out of time. Find me out, never making a sound. It's just a face in the background. Why do I tell myself that I don't deserve this hell when I was made for no one else? Whatever was left for all the bitterness I can't remember. To feel like I'm not to blame. Healing the hate in me. I swear to God I'd change. Signs never came, only rain. When all of this decays, I'll be healing the hate. Find me alone now in the day when my skeletons carve these words into the past so you can read them again. When I'm gone, who will remember me? Find me on the shelf, flow to
The art is so beautiful.
when I'm gone, who will remember me? Ruin me if I become the disease. Shed this skin to ruin me. If I could take the pain that I've caused, so resuscitate the life that I lost. Whatever was left for all the bitterness I can't remember. To feel like I'm not to blame. Healing the hate in me. I swear to God I'd change. Signs never came, only rain. When all of this decays, I'll be healing the hate. If the gods I young, doesn't mean I wasn't good enough.
Ahem. Okay, so Like Moths to Flames, Pure Like Porcelain. Let's discuss. when the news first dropped and the album art first dropped for this EP, I thought that going into it, they might have changed their sound more so than ended up being on this EP, which is definitely fine because I feel like it was enough of a tweaking of certain things in their sound, but still definitely sounded like Moths to Flames. Also, coming out with the Preservation of Hate as that opening single for it, I was like, okay, no cleans at all on this, like just going straight for it. So I think as we go, and then it ended up being also that Views from Halfway Down was my favorite single. It's that chorus, the heaviness in it. It's just a balance of, I think, the heaviness that the Preservation of Hate brings, along with the classic kind of melodic, like Moths to Flames sort of stuff, just into something a little bit newer and a little bit more fresh, and it ended up being something I really loved revisiting and will continue to do so. After listening through the full EP, I would say that is still one of my favorites, along with Do Not Resuscitate, and the Preservation of Hate would probably be up there in my favorites as well. Those would probably be my top 3 songs. They were very strong singles coming out, but also some really solid stuff in the non-singles on here as well. As I mentioned, of course, Do Not Resuscitate is a non-single. It also was the closer, so I'll talk about that in a moment. Ameliorate, opening it up, it definitely is one of those songs, as I was mentioning, like that has the sound that Like Moths to Flames is known for in their discography, kind of brought into this heavy sort of, I don't know what it is exactly that sounds a bit different either. I'm not sure what it is, because the vocals definitely seem like Moths to Flames, although Chris's has, it seems, worked on like the lows are really like punching through stuff like that, but it doesn't, no big changes like you would see with some bands where you're like, whoa, that's the same vocalist, or nothing like that, you know, no huge changes. So with that track, I felt like, especially ending with that bleh, that kind of nods at their discography as well. That's the sound they're known for, the kind of classic metalcore sort of sound in there with some of it. I like that a lot, but I think my favorite singles, or not singles, favorite songs overall from this album had stuff that was a bit different, like with, as I was mentioning, Views being my favorite song, that sort of Pure Like Porcelain worked in throughout the song, and just details like that. I think that the riffs flow really well throughout this EP, like the tone, if that makes sense, like they just match up really well. The main riff from each song seemed really solid, and the tone is sort of like that really clean. I think Gnashing Teeth would be the song that highlighted it the most, especially right before that sort of soft outro. There's a little section of guitar right there that really highlights on that sound that I'm talking about, and I just love it. It's similar to what I love about the tone in Van Animate's guitar. It just sounds very clean to me, and I think that song highlighted it the best. Like in terms of riffs, that was probably my favorite song. Gnashing Teeth, there was just something in that track instrumentally that was really, really grabbing to me. And this is of course after, wow, struggling. Of course, after only one listen, so I'll need to revisit more and see what I think. These are just my thoughts after listening to it one time. Again, the closer, Do Not Resuscitate, that ended up being one of my favorite tracks walking away from this EP. There was a catchy, strong chorus that brought a lot of emotion forward, I felt, as well, but still you get that heaviness. The outro, that breakdown, the final lines of the EP, it just really kind of it was perfect for closing the EP down, perfect closer track in general, but those lines specifically to end the EP, I thought that was really strong. I loved that choice there. So ending that song with Do Not Resuscitate, I think that was the only move. It just made a perfect closer. It brought some of that energy, as well as touched on some of the more emotional, more melodic stuff that's throughout the EP as well, because the Preservation of Hate comes in there, and as I mentioned, there are no clean vocals. It sort of drives the aggression point home, so there are little balances, as I was just mentioning about the Views from Halfway Down. They have, like, you know, Pure Like Porcelain. Someone's dog it's not my dog, upset, but anyway, they've got Pure Like Porcelain, some of the clean vocals sort of in the background there, and these sort of groovy parts that open up the EP a little bit, but also some of these just like blast beat drilling parts of the EP super heavy as well. So personally, I really like this. There have been a lot of very strong EPs this year, so I'll see towards the end of the year where this ends up placing towards everything else that I've been listening to on repeat lately. This will work its way into the rotation, and we will see what's going on. Definitely, I've already mentioned my favorite tracks multiple times, so let me know what yours were in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking of the EP, the sound from Like Moths to Flames. I will link all of their merch, their social media and such in the description of this video. And yeah, very solid stuff. They pretty consistently put out stuff. I know they've never put anything out that I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So I can pretty much count on them with their releases, but this is definitely towards the more solid stuff in their discography, I would say. So anyway, other than that, you can also find my link tree in the description of this video, which will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about all of the time. Has a bunch of my favorite people in there, so if you are interested in coming to join chat, we have a lot of music related conversation, a lot of conversation unrelated to music as well. So if you're interested in that, that will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link. On Instagram, I do keep it all music related, whether it be about shows, now that shows are back, or vinyl, merch, sweatshirts, shirt. I said that in the wrong order. Merch, vinyl, sweatshirts, shirts, you know, whatever I have, flags, whatever I've ready to post that week. If there are shows, I might do that instead. It just depends. And then every Friday, I post a chart of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week, and sometimes on my story about new videos on my channel, things like that. So if that interests you at all, my handle on there is Rachel Reacts, just like my YouTube channel, but I will put it up here on the screen for you, as well as having it in that link tree in the description if you have any interest in following me. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.